Yes, sir. Welcome to Ain't No Manual. Today's guest is my boy Duke Scott. Now, y'all all know in the city of Tampa Bay, the king of youth football is Coach Duke Scott in the Nucio Jaguars. So we're gonna bring him in and talk about the state of youth football. So again, welcome, my boy Duke. Thank you for spending your time with me, man. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm wonderful, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. Youth football has changed since I last was coaching. I ain't coached in years. And I see y'all already kicked off the season. When does the season officially start?
Well, we start a new league called Florida Premier Youth Football and Cheer,
Hmm.
and yeah, youth football and cheer. And first official game will be this coming Saturday.
So after is league play, how many games y'all playing?
Well, we actually got we got six organizations in our league right now. Matter of fact, we just started this league this year, and
Hmm.
all our organizations are single age uh, programs,
Hmm.
and it's tough kind of fielding single age, but we feel that if we're going to start something, we want it to be the same way across the board, which allows
Right.
us to do a little bit more traveling and facing other leagues and organizations that have the same setup that we have.
Okay.
So we have flag through 14. So we got flag 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then a combination of 13 and 14.
So now before you got to the single age, your team had what, two or three ages combined, or two ages in older light if possible?
Two. Well, no, it was two age. It was dual age where we had flag 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14.
Okay.
So yeah, we just had five different age groups, divisions rather, five different divisions.
Division, right. So now that you combine it, you said it allows you to play more nationally. Now, was Tampa the only one doing it like that with the two ages, or was that just a Florida thing?
I think it was a Florida thing initially, but I think a whole lot of leagues were going to a single age, which to me it has the pros and cons, but I like it because it allows the kid to actually play with his age group opposed
Right,
to playing with older kids every year, so to
right.
speak.
Now you have football and cheer. Does the cheerleading break down by age group like that too?
Now,
Okay. Okay.
the cheerleader is dual age,
Yeah. How do you feel about the state of youth football now? Because I mean, you've been in it since the beginning. You watched the changes over the last
right?
10, 15, 20 years.
Right. I feel, me, my opinion, I feel like Little League is in a bad place right now.
Hmm.
I honestly would say that the kids haven't changed. I think the kids are still the same. It's the leaders, the parents, the volunteers. It's everybody that drives Little League has changed, and
Hmm.
I would say it hadn't changed for the better. So
Right.
that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to get back involved with it because I took a year off last year. I actually separated myself from it because I kind of, I let it get the best of me. So I kind of took the year off and pushed restart and said that if I want this to change, I got to try to make a difference. So I got
Right.
back involved. And we definitely got to start with our leaders that's involved with this little league platform. It's becoming it's getting away from family. When I say family, just because we compete with one each other, compete against each other as organizations at the same time, we still can't get away from being family.
Right.
And between the lines, yeah, we want to win, and we're gonna compete, and we teach the kids to compete. But at the end of the day, we should all still lead with love and an understanding.
Yeah.
That's what it truly is.
Yeah. And that's what we was raised on. Because, I played in the Boys and Girls Club League. So only four teams in the city. We played each other twice. But those games were like barbecues on a Saturday. Because win or
Right,
lose, it ain't no beef between the coaches. They all in the parking lot doing their
right,
thing, chilling after the game, all the kids running around. It was all family. And
right,
now, when I attend youth games, when I last to youth games, it's a war. You know, these people on this side and they riding for that side, and it get real messy on the sideline. We're not even
right,
talking about the kids. We're just talking about the adults.
right, right, right. And unfortunately, it's gotten worse. So I feel like if I can start trying to change the culture, and lead by example, because at times I even, I get rowdy, but it all be respectfully. It all be between the
Yeah,
lines. It all be about just competing, and people got to know how to separate the two. You can't let
right.
this youth football take over your character and how you respond to different things, and let your ego get involved. That's another thing.
Mm,
The ego are so powerful
egos.
and so big for no reason. Like at the end of the day, uh, nobody called me. Like Nick Saban hadn't called me. All the big time. Nobody called me about Coach. We want you to come and get on the staff and all that because at the end of the day,
Right.
it, it really that ain't what it's about. It's about
Hmm.
leading these young men and women, well, young boys and girls, in the right direction and giving them some substance that they can carry on with from here to eternity. Uh,
Right.
I tell them all the time that this youth football has so much to offer outside of the X's and O's, especially with the camaraderie and just building this brotherhood up with these young dudes as they get older. And
Right.
they never know when they're gonna have to reach out and help one another, because football is a temporary step anyway. So when they start really, you know, transitioning over to real life after football, even if they're fortunate enough to play it at a high level, they got to
Hmm.
remember these relationships because some of these guys might have to give these people out their brothers opportunity. You know,
Right.
a guy came to me last week at a tournament we was at. I didn't know him either. He stepped up to me, said, "Coach Duke," he said, "Man, I just wanted to reach out to you because I had a player that played for you, and he interviewed for a job." He was telling me how during the interview, the dude kept mentioning my name and things that not just me, just the coaches that he's been around, uh,
Right.
and how important that was to him. And believe it or not, the dude said he interviewed well, but just the fact that he hadn't forgot the people that was a part of his journey that allowed him to be in this position to even be able to try to get this position, this job rather. And he
Right.
said it's a six-figure job too. And he said he got it based on how he interviewed and how passionate he was about the
Mm.
mentors and the people that played a part in his success. And believe it or not, out of all the years that I've been doing this, I got more gratification out of that than anything, any trophy, any accolade, game we won. Like that right there really dug deep. And
Right.
I told him to make sure he come back and speak to the kids,
Oh
and let
yeah.
them know, about how important it is, man, to be disciplined and all the other things that he had to learn to deal with and to put into his repertoire of things to navigate through his young life. Uh,
Right.
but that was real touching to me. Though. That really moved me. So it also it give you, I would say, motivation and give you a reason to do this, especially when you volunteer
Do it.
your time.
Yeah.
So you know
Right.
what? I'm not just wasting time. We actually saving lives.
Right.
So that just one of the stories that I just wanted to share with you.
And there's more kids out there that's affected by you and CJ and Skin and Big O and Chain. You just don't get
Mm,
those stories back. But people around the city can tell you because they've been through your organization. So you got to have a certain toughness to go through the Jaguar organization. We all know that. So to make
right.
it all the way through that, that carries on with life because they learning life skills by being part of that organization. And a
Right.
lot of people, kids, especially kids, need to know that it's not really all about football. Most of y'all are not going to the NFL. You might not even get a scholarship to college. But what you
Right.
learn here can put you in position to make money if that's what you're trying to do, or live a great life. Because you're gonna learn a lot from this football game. Yeah, what you guys doing out there, it carries over to the other kids. I mean, I coach kids that come from your organization because I'm in high school now. And you can see, you can tell when kids come from the Jaguars or kids come from other places. You can see it in the kids. So yeah, you guys definitely doing your thing out there. And it's bigger than football. You can see it in the kids' attitudes and the way they work.
And I'm glad you mentioned a whole lot of those guys that's been a part of the Jaguars. Like without them, I'm gonna be honest with you. eh, we wouldn't be you wouldn't be talking to me. Like I tell everybody, you got to surround yourself with great people and great individuals, and everybody that's willing to play a role and understand the bigger picture. And a lot of those guys you just named, and there's some people you didn't name. They are a big part, a big reason why the Jaguars have developed the reputation of being a top notch organization.
Yeah, there's never been no egos with those guys. And I know a lot of times I've been to your organization, and of course I've coached against you guys. I've always seen you not only coach your kids, but you coach the coaches too. So
Right.
you wear a lot of hats in that organization. You're dealing with parents, kids, cheerleaders, and the coaches, man. How you wear all these hats and do it daily? Like how you go through that?
It's definitely tough, especially like I said, the kids are the same, but the parents are different. I think the YouTube and the internet has created a situation where it's about me and not team anymore, and
Yeah,
not about family. It's what my child can get. And I tell them all the time, your child is 6 years old, or 8 years old, 9 years old. Like, let him have fun right now, because
right.
when it becomes business, he ain't gonna want to do it. He's not
Mm-mm.
gonna want to do it because you haven't allowed him to have any fun. So yeah, I know it's nice to have your videos, and and all your little clips, and but that's for you, right? Don't push him. Don't push him in a place where he got to always be worried about satisfying you when it comes
Right.
down to this football thing. Because just like you
Mhm.
said, a lot of them not gonna go. Even a lot of them not gonna play high school football. You know,
Oh man.
so allow them to enjoy this, and allow them to build these relationships with these other dudes and these other coaches and these other people. Like I said, that later on down the line they might can benefit from. You know,
Right.
but it's hard dealing with them because, like I say, everybody envision their child going to the NFL or playing for
Mm.
the University of Florida, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
Right.
wrong with dreaming big and all that, but allow the process to take place. Allow that to happen, in
Yeah.
increments. Don't push it, too far ahead, because, like you said, when it don't happen now, the child feel like he's a disappointment.
Hmm.
You don't want that. I've seen so many relationships torn. I mean, I'm talking about father and son, because this kid might have stopped growing. And now, he's not meeting the measurements. He's not as fast anymore. And you done built him up to do all this, and now the kid feel like he's a disappointment. And a lot of these kids start going to depression, and start feeling like,
Mm.
they just let people down. And at the end of the day, now you find a whole different animal. It's way bigger than football. Your child is in a place,
Yes.
especially a mental place, where we don't know which way that can go at times.
Yeah.
So we
And
just got to be.
it's a lot of that too, man. I'm dealing with a kid that's dealing with that now after being a successful high school player, youth league player, went off to college and never got a chance to play
Mm,
at all.
right.
And now he's graduated or whatnot, but now he's just trying to deal with life. And like you said, depression. A lot of people don't know what these kids go through after football when they don't make it or feel like they've satisfied their dreams or their chase of this game. And you see that a lot dealing with kids. A lot of kids come back to you and you're trying to steer them the right way from that.
Yeah, we never stop, mentoring and teaching, so to speak, because the kids do come back, and a lot of them. A lot of them get in trouble, and a lot of, like I said, go down the wrong path. So what I do is try to get them involved with this youth football. Give them a reason. Okay, you still could be attached to this game. You still feel like you was a failure in football. It's still ways for you to be attached to this game, and for you
Hmm.
to be in a place where you still can share your experience and help and do something for the generation behind you. So
Right.
it's funny you say that. A lot of the coaches is coaching now, you know, once played for the Jaguars. I encourage them to
Mm.
come back and give and help. And believe it or not, when they get out there, they don't realize how much they like it till
They
two
love it.
weeks down the line. I got to get them from the field. Hey, man, we ain't got no practice today, man. What you doing out there, man? Oh, okay. Yeah. I said, but
Uh,
that's what made me feel good. Now they in a
right.
place where they know they mean something because they sharing
Hmm.
their stories. They seeing how these young kids lighten up to, their presence and what they're teaching them. And
Yeah.
that helps with a lot of the young ones, man, that's lost and feel like they ain't really ain't got no reason to even be living at times. Man, you'll be
Yeah.
surprised at the conversations I done had with these young dudes, man. And I know I'm not a therapist, but I
Right.
got to do everything I can, from
Yeah.
my standpoint to at least encourage them, let them keep going on. It's tough right now, but it can get better as long
Yeah.
as that's what you want. If you want it to get better, it'll get better, but it's gonna
If
take
you
some
want
work.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Gonna take work. So,
That's what
uh,
they gotta understand. It's more than football. This is just for now. And one thing to piggyback off what you said, that's why I don't like the idea of ranking these young kids at the
mm,
youth football because you're really putting in their head that they're going to be something. And most of these kids do not grow. Only a few kids grow once they get in high school. Like
mm-hmm.
you said, they get to high school and they're smaller. You may be the fastest, but the colleges, they looking for certain size, certain types. And now, they making you feel like you're not a 3, 4, 5 star player. So you probably can't go to Miami, but you can go somewhere and play. There's a lot of
Right.
schools out here. So, but it affects these kids ranking them at such a young age. My question is, how do we keep the sport pure? Because with the big bag you can get going to the NFL. Of course, the odds is on that prize. Now you got the NIL in college. So you can, I mean, if you ball, you can make 6 figures in college right now and in the
Oh,
future.
oh
And
yeah.
that's starting to funnel down to high school and soon to youth football. So how do we keep the youth football pure in our city?
I think we got to start with everybody getting on the same page, no matter what league or organization you're affiliated with. I think we got to get more. I think we got to get back to the student part of the student athlete. I think we really got to
Yeah.
get like start by focusing on that. One of the things that I wanted to do this year was create like a first, second, third team academic All American team. You know,
Oh yeah.
and academic. So
Hmm.
you see all these tournaments and like you just say these rankings. Guess what? Let's start ranking these kids about their academics based on the academics. Let's start
Right.
ranking them on that kind of stuff. Because just like you just said, man, you have these kids thinking they this, that, and the third, and at the end of the day, all that is a matter of opinion with somebody ranking. And I tell them all the time, I can come out with a ranking and say you the number 3 6-year-old in the country. Who can say
Right.
I'm wrong? So what?
Right. They can't
But
argue
if
that.
I tell them your GPA, this is why you are academic All American, boy,
Right.
that gonna stand on its own. That ain't
Yeah,
no
that's
matter.
fact.
So
Hmm.
I think we got to get more back to the educational part of it, especially with our kids. Because our kids, man, you would be surprised how intelligent these kids really are. And even the
Yeah.
ones that struggle, they still have their strengths in different areas. Like I tell people all the
Hmm.
time, you might not go to college, but I see you
Right.
good at your hands. You might go on to be a carpenter. You might go on to be a
Yeah.
plumber. Like you still can go on and be successful if you possibly can based on your strengths. We got to find out what you're strong in, you know.
Early.
And what really gets me is a lot of the kids have problems with reading, but you'll go take them to spend $60 a session on a trainer to work on speed and all this, and the
Right.
kid has trouble reading.
Can't get a
So
tutor, but yeah, you'll
yeah, we
work them
got to
out
get
real
more back
fast.
to the academic part of this, man, the student part.
Yeah,
And I think when we get back to that, we will see a major change and shift in how these kids act and respond to adversity in different situations. You know,
right. And it prepares them for high school and then college. A lot of these kids, man, and you usually, and a majority of the youth organizations, they're not checking the kids' grades
right,
on a weekly basis. So you
right,
can play, you can be failing all week, but you can come out here and play on Saturday. So we definitely got to get back to checking those grades on a weekly basis. When I played for the North Tampa Rams, we had to turn in a grade report. They would give it to us Saturday or Monday. You had to have that thing turned in by Thursday or you won't play.
right.
So most of the athletes over there were good student athletes because they required that. It was a demand. Playing football was just a treat. That was the
Hmm.
reward for you doing good in school. So yeah, I agree with you. We definitely got to turn that back. That's going to make better students, so they can get into these schools they're trying to get into, and they can be prepared to go to college.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah. Now I heard you were a baseball coach, so you started off baseball and then football. How did it start for you?
Actually, I started out at baseball, coaching at Belma High Little League, man. Belma High
Okay.
Little League, uh,
Legendary Park.
legendary park.
Hmm.
Uh, got involved with it because I actually played baseball when I was young too, but just to give back and get out there with the kids, especially, I'm gonna be honest with you, these kids really saved my life. These
Mm.
kids got me out the streets.
Right.
I'm just being perfectly honest with you. And that was one of the reasons I started coaching baseball. Plus, I was always in the community anyway. And
Hmm.
you see these kids out there, I see them in the street all the time, and I'm telling them what to go. Hey, you need to go sign up for baseball, or you need to go sign up for football. So now when they tell me, Coach, you need to come coach us, I'm like,
Yeah.
And these the same little kid I'm seeing running around the streets around with me. You know what? You're right. I'm
Right.
gonna come out there. And when I got out there,
Mm.
I fell in love with it. I really did. I fell in love with it, and I knew then. Guess what? I can't straddle the
Mm.
fence no more. I got to make a
Yeah.
decision. Either I'm gonna
Can you
stay
do
in the
both?
street or I'm gonna stay on this field with these kids. And guess
Hmm.
what? Yeah, I took a hit. Yeah, this, that, and a third. But at the end of the day, I'm still here. I'm still here
Yeah.
to share my experiences and share my stories with a lot of them. Because guess what? A lot of them don't believe that I always was Coach Duke. They think I've been
Right.
telling them, I've been making me, no, these are real stories. And I'm
Right.
telling you, you don't want to go through that. You don't want to have to experience a
Hmm.
lot of stuff that I experienced. And if you do, one thing you're not gonna be able to do is say nobody ain't try to tell me about what I'm going through, and I don't
Yeah.
have to go through it. But yeah,
Hmm.
I started coaching at Belma High. Me, Coach Otis, Coach O, he done been with me through a long time. We come
A
way
long
back.
time.
Yeah,
So
we
y'all
coach
started baseball together?
baseball, and like I said, I love the baseball. My thing with the baseball was it tells you only can coach certain kids from certain areas. You only can coach the kids from your area. So when I got kids that
Mm.
now coming to me, hey, I want to bring my child over to Bama High, but they say I live over here and I'm not a district, so I got to play this with this part. And we want our kids to be under y'all because man, we know y'all got the right y'all got the right attention for these kids. Y'all sincere. Y'all teaching them stuff, and I need help because at the time a lot of these single parents, they out there and
Right.
they trying to raise men. So
Hmm.
the baseball thing was good, but like I said, I couldn't really touch everybody based on the rules that they got on Little League with the boundaries. So then that's when I said, you know
Right.
what, I'm gonna do the football too, but I'm passionate about football anyway. And then that's
Hmm.
how I kind of moved over to the football and was doing both at first. Then I'm like, no, I can get football players from everywhere. So hey, when
Right.
y'all leave baseball, I don't care where y'all play baseball at. Now y'all come to football because there ain't no boundaries, and then you can
Right.
still get that same energy and everything that you're looking for. So that's how I actually got into the football.
Man. So
Mm-hmm.
Belmont Heights right now, it still has boundary rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they still have the boundaries in place where if you don't live in a
Man.
uh certain in that area with zip codes and all that, you
So
can't you
that
won't be eligible for the all stars and all the other stuff attached to it that the kids really want to be a part of.
See, that explains a lot because a lot of people who didn't play in the organization but grew up in the city, you know that Belmont Heights was the first black organization to play in the Little League World Series. So
True.
it's a big organization when it comes to baseball. Also, was started by Coach Billy Reed, who ended up at Hillsborough. That's a
Right.
legendary baseball coach. But people that know, they always ask why Belmont Heights not still, a big organization, like what they doing over there. But that explains a lot because the area has changed since the 80s and the
Right.
90s. So you're
Right.
not getting the same people that you had or that you could get in the organization.
And to piggyback on that, the restrictions to coach in the city are a lot stricter now. Like if it was like
Mm,
it was back when I started, I probably wouldn't be able to coach. You know, I wouldn't be able to coach baseball either. So what they have done is the city has kind of put a lot of restrictions in place for a lot of these dudes that really want to come back and give back, but might have done had some bumps and bruises that they went through in their life. And now you telling them, even though it was 10, 20 years ago, that they can't coach because of that. So
yeah,
that's hurting the part too. You can't get no real dudes, and when I say real, kids that you can't get men in there that these kids can reflect to. They can like,
yeah,
okay, he looked like me. He
yeah,
talking about San Diego. He understand what I'm going through.
right.
He's speaking about what I'm going through from his experience. So
Hmm.
once you take that away, especially from an area like that at Bama High, now
Yeah.
the kids don't really want to play. Kids don't play baseball no more at Bama High.
Yeah,
Kids
they
do not
don't.
play baseball. The numbers are so low this year past. I couldn't believe it. So
Man.
I, you know, I really want to get more involved with that as well. Because the guy that's over it now,
Hmm.
Dude, Xavier, he's the president over there now. So I had told him that I might want to get more involved with that next year to see if it's something that I can do to try to get these kids uh, more involved in baseball again because I couldn't believe the numbers
Hmm.
he told me that he had in baseball, especially in that historic part. That's a historic part, and the area
Historic.
is located in
Yeah.
right now. You can see what's going on with all the movements and stuff they're making with Ybor City
Right.
and downtown. They're slowly pushing
It's
us.
changing.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So
But we got to do our part to stay. We can stay there and we can still do our thing and we can
right,
share. They can
right,
move in, we can all share.
right.
There's nothing wrong with that, but we definitely got to bring that way. And I know a couple of good brothers, baseball dudes that's heavy into it, that'll definitely love to help you out when it comes to that because they've been asking the same questions. How can we get baseball back lit in this city? So that needs to be the next movement for the city because everybody can't play football. I'm tired
Right.
of coaching some of these kids that can't play. They need to find something else to do. And maybe baseball is their sport. you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah. No
yeah,
doubt. No doubt.
but
No
yeah.
doubt.
So you guys left the baseball and you started the Jaguars from the ground up, or was that already something going?
Well, the Jaguars was already a guy named Larry Jacobs actually was the founder of the Jaguars.
Hmm.
I came a year after it started. He started it up over there on 22nd and Martin Luther King. That's where it actually started at, which was right across the
Wow.
street from Bama Height. That's another reason why I got involved because it was right across the street. He started up a new football league, and
Right.
so we got involved with it. And but he actually was the founder, and I was up under his tutelage for 3-4 years, and he kind of
Hmm.
ran it, and you know,
You
and
took it
after a
over.
while, he got tired of doing it, and then another president came in, and they weren't doing the right thing.
Mm.
They wasn't doing the right thing, and then I
Hmm.
just got tired of the leadership where people coming in and not keeping these kids first. And I say,
Right.
I'm gonna run it. I've sit back and seen how other people did things. I know what I shouldn't be doing. I know how to do certain things. I know the relationships I need to be building with certain people involved in the county or the city. And so, I'm gonna do it because I know I got the right intentions.
Right.
It's, I know what these kids
Yeah.
need.
Now the question can no one answer. What is your record? Your coaching record.
I
You don't
couldn't tell
even
you.
know.
I don't. I
You
really
talking
don't.
about?
I'm being
But you
honest.
never had a 3 game losing season, have you? You never lost more than 3 games in the season, or more than
Uh,
two.
I probably have. I just
Yeah.
don't remember it. I probably have. I just don't remember it. I'm telling you, I probably have. I've been doing it for 27 years. So I know I
27.
probably have.
But you've been getting championships pretty much every year through that though. You might have missed a few years. Like if you miss a year, you come back and get it normally.
Right. There are
You know how
few.
many championships you have?
No, no,
So I know you don't know how many the organization
no. I,
has.
I'm being honest with you. I don't because
I can't
it don't
nobody
mean
answer the question. It turned into a whole conversation. Everyone I asked this week is like, man, they might have about 1,000 trophies over there.
yeah. Matter of fact, I stopped taking trophies a long time ago. The other coaches take the trophies because I like it don't mean that don't it don't move me.
Right.
Just seeing them kids getting through the season, win or lose. I know
Hmm.
they all gonna leave with something, and
Yeah.
how we treat
Yeah.
the kids. Like I say, we want them to enjoy football, but we want it to be a football experience.
Right.
Experience. So
Right.
we know how we go all out for these kids. We go all out. We provide these kids with more than enough on every level, and that's another reason why these kids appreciate what we do because a
Hmm.
whole lot of organizations ain't doing that for them. We're not doing it for them because of them winning football games or them. No, we're doing it for you because I know that these little things might spark something in you, might get your
Oh yeah.
attention. Like, you know what, man, people really care about me. So when they tell me
Right.
to try to talk and try to mentor me and tell me certain things, I need to listen. At least
Hmm.
listen. Because now a lot of kids don't even want to listen to you.
Oh no.
They don't even want to give you the time to listen to the conversation. Just digest this conversation. No,
Yeah.
OG, I ain't in the mood to listen to that today, OG. No, I know you got good attention, but just listen now, because one day you're gonna want to talk to me, and guess what? You're gonna expect me to listen. And guess what I'm gonna
Right.
do? I'm gonna
I ain't
listen.
got time.
No, I'm gonna say I'm gonna listen.
You gonna
I'm gonna
listen to
listen.
him though? Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's right.
listen. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Hmm.
listen. But then
And give you my best opinion, man.
I'm gonna bring this back to him. Now you remember when I tried to tell you that you
Yeah.
need to listen to me now? Now I'm gonna give you that respect. I'm gonna listen to you. Now give it to me. And
Hmm.
most of the time it be about something big, about getting them out of how to get them out of trouble, or give them a recommendation for something, or this, that, and third. And I don't hesitate. I don't hesitate.
Right.
Hey, no brainer. I'm there. Okay, let me get somebody to write it up for you, or whatever it may be.
Hmm.
Um, I've had to go to court and talk as a character witness, behind some of these knuckleheads, and they
Yeah.
expect me to come in there and and tell lies and all that right there. No, I'm gonna tell the truth about you, but
Right.
I'm also gonna tell them the good things about you as well, because it is.
Hmm.
Most of these kids have a lot of good qualities. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a lot of time they just be detoured in the wrong direction, or they round the wrong. The peers are leading the lives and all that stuff there, and they being
Right.
followers. But outside of that, they're quality people, man. They really are.
Yeah, we're losing a lot of kids to these. I wouldn't even. I can't even say we're losing them to the streets. We just losing them to I guess whatever life they trying to live, man. Cause like at the school I'm coaching at, we got a lot of kids that leave and don't ever play again. And I'm talking about big time athletes who got the opportunity to go to the next level. Kids who
Right,
you would say, man, you can probably go to the NFL if you stay straight. But they
right.
just so quick to go to the streets. They just want to smoke something and show money on social media or whatnot. It's like what's going on with our kids? Because you working with them from the baby, you get to see that whole transition. Like what's
Hmm.
going on in this city in these streets with these kids? Like why they just leaving great opportunities to do nothing?
Because a lot of the kids that they're looking up to, they're looking up to kids that should be following them, and like you just said, the internet, like this internet controls the narrative for a lot of people's situation. You know, The
Yeah.
internet making it popular to be a thug. It's making it popular to get high. The internet and to be perfectly honest with you, entertainment period. The rappers, their kids not popping no pills. They
Right.
kids, they rapping about all that stuff, but they're not gonna allow their kids to do that. So
Mm-mm.
why are we as parents allowing our kids to navigate to that kind of music, uh,
Music.
that music, and to try to live that life when the person
Right.
that put it out there not even living that? Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Music is a heavy influence on these kids.
music is
So
a heavy influence.
it
Yeah.
goes back to what you said. It's the parenting.
Mhm.
The
Right.
parents got
Right.
to step up. They got to do their part. That just makes it easy for everybody else.
Makes it easy for everybody else. Uh,
Man. Well, last question, man. What is the plan? What is the future for the Jaguars, man? What else you got going on?
well, I think the future is I'm trying to take the Jaguars to uh I'm gonna say worldwide, so to speak. It's time to try to get these kids out of the city. Uh, that's one of the reasons why we created a league that we've created, because we're doing a little bit more traveling than we normally would do. But at the end of the day,
Mhm.
a lot of these kids never been to St. Pete. So now, if we can
Right.
start getting these kids out of these neighborhoods or out of these situations, even if it's just for a weekend, to go and play
Yeah.
other kids in other cities, and we visit these cities, and teach them about what's going on in these cities, and like I say, uh, just give them a different experience. I
Yeah.
think that's not normal. So now
Mm-mm.
kids gonna gravitate to that, say, hey man, the Jaguars, man, they doing this. They got nice uniforms, they got good equipment, man, they got good
Right.
people involved, and I want to be a part of that. And
And they winning.
yeah, well, not as much as we used to, but we competing, we competing,
Yeah.
because it
Hmm.
gets tough when you get outside your city where you got
Yeah.
people that look Jaguar that look just like you. We that's
Right.
gonna match your intensity and be ready to play
Hmm.
good football. But that just makes us better. But
Yeah.
like I said, we just try to put more things in place outside of the football part of it to see if we can get these kids' attention and
Yeah.
get them to start making better decisions, and understanding that this world is way bigger than their block and what they can see.
Hmm.
And if we take them there, they'll really understand it. Oh yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
real. We go down to Fort Lauderdale. We go to Miami. It's real. We go to Jacksonville. It's real. We go to Georgia. We just slowly just start getting a little further and further out. I think more
Hmm.
families and kids who want to be a part of that. And then now we got your attention. So now once I get your attention, now I can tell you the real. Now I
Right.
can get you to digest the real.
Hmm.
You can't run from it because
Yeah.
you made this commitment to get on this train. So now you don't get on this train. So now
I got you.
I, I got you. And this is how we're gonna
Hmm.
do it. We're gonna try to do it this way. We don't try it your way. Now we're gonna try it this way.
Yes,
So,
sir.
you know, just trying to separate what we're doing uh from what has been done in the past. And I'm gonna be honest
Right.
with you, I've talked to other organizations, and like I say, the team that's in our league, which is the Progress Village Panthers, the
Hmm.
Lakewood Spartans, the
Ooh.
St. Pete Little Devils, East Bay Northeast Bandits, and then we got the
Mm.
Gainesville Gators. So
Okay.
I'm definitely trying to get other organizations to buy in the way I think is going to separate your organization for what everybody else doing, and at the same
Hmm.
time giving these kids a real football experience. Change the culture. Just change what's been normal and what's been accepted as being right when it's really just an illusion. It's not real,
Right.
you know.
Hmm.
So that's where I see the Jags being, and hopefully a lot of other organizations following suit, because what I'm doing ain't just for the Jags. Hopefully everybody understand my vision and ultimately what where I see it, where I see little league football going, youth football going, and how
Right.
we can take control of the narrative again. How we can
Yeah.
take back over the narrative and
Hmm.
just get it to be functional again.
Yeah. We just got to unite everybody and get everybody to buy in. I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna reach out to the people I know in Fort Myers and Lauderdale in Miami. So maybe they
Right.
can join that, hook up with you, and we can all just unify it all.
Right. For sure. Hmm.
Definitely. Well, hey man, I ain't gonna hold you up. I appreciate you for giving me your time. Man. I know the weekends, every day is busy for you holding all those hats, man. So hey, one time, man, my dog, Coach Duke Scott, Nucio Jaguar. Y'all still Nucio or is it just Tampa Jaguar?
Yeah, we buried the Jaguars now.
Oh, okay, Bay Area.
Yeah, we
Yes,
buried the
sir.
Jaguars. But guess what? Nucio is the root. That's why I don't never stop because that's where it started. Nucio.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody that know, they know it's Nucio, but yeah,
Right.
worldwide
Right.
it is Bay Area.
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
man, I
Yeah.
appreciate what you're doing for these kids, man. Like I said, I work with a lot of kids that lead your organizations, and man, they are pretty much stand up kids. You know, some kids got to go through it, but eventually those same kids will come back to you. We can
Right.
break them down and get them back right. Definitely, whenever you need me, man, let me know. You know, I like to get in these kids' face and just tell them how it really is. Because I done been through it, the whole process. I done sent kids to school. I done been one of those kids that try to go to school and didn't. So I know all sides of it, man. So yeah, whenever you need me, holler at me, man.
You know I will. You know I will.
Definitely. Definitely. But hey, man, it's a wrap for Ain't No Manual, man. Thank you, Duke.
Appreciate you having me.
Just slow down, you catch up. Run up on something you can't handle. It's up, it's down, on annual.